Well, hello, YouTube world. It's me, it's Emily. I am, in fact, alive. And my baby is still alive, too. Um, I don't know, I just kind of like got a hair, a bug, something in my butt. I don't know. This is terrible. To film an update since I think the last one that I filmed was when Iris was 9 weeks old, maybe, and now she's almost 8 months old. So, needless to say, this channel has taken a bit of a backseat to motherhood. If you keep seeing me looking off, it's because she's napping right now, and she's still. I mean, she's getting better. She's not the world's greatest sleeper. She has never been. She probably never will be. Um, my friggin' tripod is out in my car and I don't feel like going out to get it. So I have my phone precariously propped up on her exerciser. So if you see, you can see this in the frame. That's what that's all about. I'm a hot mess, y'all. I did not think this through. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about, okay? I guess, so yeah, we are alive. We're thriving. I have a baby girl who's almost 8 months old, and I can't believe it. Also, I've got a cold that I'm trying to get over. She also has a cold. Chris Aslo has a cold. We've been sick for friggin' like 2 weeks. It has been, I mean, like everybody, like, oh, motherhood is the hardest thing you'll ever do. But it's like this vague concept. I feel like when you don't have kids or when you're still pregnant, and then this little baby is born, and you're like, oh, fuck. Because shit gets real fast. It has been the most challenging thing I have ever done. Obviously, like, the most rewarding. People say, here we friggin' go. The question is, do I have a cough drop in my pocket? And I do, because I always have cough drops in my pocket. People say that, I can't imagine, I can't even remember what my life was like before their baby came along. And while that's true, it's not true, because I remember what it was like. I remember being able to get up and leave the house whenever I wanted to. I remember sleeping with reckless abandon. Okay, at this point, I'm pretty solid. I can be okay on 4 or 5 hours of sleep at night. Didn't think I'd ever be there. But when you've got a little baby girl that don't like to sleep, that's what your life becomes. 4 to 5 hours is. But I mean, and then on the other hand, she is the light of our lives. She's so funny. She's a total goofball. She is sassafras. Call her nobody's surprise. This kid trolls me all day long. Okay? Does shit just to fuck with me. I know she's doing it. I know she is. She just to mess with me. But she is an absolute dream. She really is. She's when she was 6 months old, she was 17 pounds and 11 ounces, 26 inches. She's definitely 20 pounds by this point. She can sit up all by her big self. She still topples over sometimes, and then like looks at me like, is it okay if I cry? And I'm like, you're fine. So then she doesn't cry. She's super close, I think, to crawling. If like we put her on all fours, she's able to hold there for like a minute or two. And she starts like rocking to try to scoot her legs. She doesn't know what to do with her arms yet. And then a couple days ago, she started actually pushing up on all fours by herself. And she also does what looks like vigorously humping the floor. As like she knows, like, oh, I need to go. I can go. I just don't know how to do it. It's really funny. She also does that while we're holding her. Everything is jumping. Like, if you're standing her up on your lap, everything is jump, jump, jump. If you're just trying to hold her to put her to sleep at night, everything is jump, jump, jump. Like, gyrate, gyrate. Every moment is a moment to jump, apparently. So yeah, those are the big milestones. Her hair is curly. I'll add some photos at some point. I don't know if I'll add them here or at the end. Whatever. But her hair is coming in hot. It like it was actually over Christmas. We went back to Illinois for Christmas, and her hair like exploded. I was like, the whole time we were there, we're like, does it seem like her hair has grown? Like, it didn't seem possible. And then when we got back, I was looking at pictures of the day before we left, and then the day before we flew back home. And yeah, her hair like noticeably grew. What else? She babbles a lot. She's saying da 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 da. We're not sure if it's in relation to Chris or not. She's on to solids. We tried solids when she was right around 6 months, and it did not go so well. Jesus, take the wheel. This is a mess. I had to check something, and now I'm sure the picture's all messed up. Whatever. So we just back to the solids talk. We tried to start solids at 6 months, and it just seemed like her tummy was not quite ready. She seemed really uncomfortable and was doing a lot of crying. So we backed off, and then a few weeks ago, maybe the first week in January, we restarted, and we're doing purees. I really went back and forth between whether or not we wanted to do baby-led weaning or purees. We just decided to start with purees. It seemed easier somehow. And that's going pretty well. She's a pretty good eater. She likes to eat. She thinks it's really fun. What remains her problem is that, and I mean, this is just like a problem in her life in general, is that she's a puker. I mean, she had reflux, for sure. Excuse me. She was medicated for reflux up until like December. But when she coughs, she gags, and when she gags, she pukes. So, for instance, today, I was giving her for her lunch some green beans and apples, and she got 2 bites in, gagged, and barfed. I had to use the food bowl to catch it, so that was fun. My reflexes are like lightning. I've caught a lot of puke. But I mean, I think she's getting there. She's still on formula. She ended up weaning from breastfeeding. My milk like totally dried up when she was like 4.5 months. So like obviously that wasn't my plan, but I was honestly just glad that we were able to do it for that long. Just with how really poor my supply was. I'm doing good, I feel I'm pretty much like, I mean, I'm recovered. I feel like I'm recovered from my C-section from giving birth. I actually I lost all of my pregnancy weight. Like I gained around 23 pounds or something like that. I lost it all in like the first 10 days, 2 weeks after I had her. And then I've steadily just gained it all back because my diet is shit and I live on bagels and cream cheese. It's like, I feel like we've been in the trenches. Like the first 3 months were friggin' hard. Like lots and lots of crying and like resisting sleep. And it was just really hard. And so, I have this mentality that like, oh, I've made it through another day. I deserve a bagel and cream cheese. Or I made it the last hour. I deserve another bagel and cream cheese. You see where I'm going with this. So like, I'm rewarding myself for surviving another day with food, and it's not cute. It's not cute. I'm like pretty much to where I was when I friggin' delivered her, which is ridiculous. So I'm really trying to be mindful of what I'm eating, trying to be mindful of how I'm feeling when I'm eating, because when you have been an emotional eater, which I have been for a very, very long time, it's very easy to self-medicate whatever your emotion is with food. I definitely have struggled with some postpartum depression and anxiety. I've been on Zoloft for a few years now for depression, and definitely, you know, the last couple of months, I've really struggled with a lot of intrusive thoughts. Specifically, like laying awake in bed at night when I could be sleeping because she's sleeping, but I'm in bed awake, going over scenarios and what I would do. Like, if someone breaks into our home, how am I going to protect her? If our car goes off a bridge into the water, how am I going to get her out of the car seat in the back? Like, just like all of these ridiculous scenarios that I just like can't stop thinking about. Also, this is going to sound totally crazy, but getting a song, any song, stuck in my head for days at a time. And like when I'm in bed at night trying to go to sleep, the same like lyric or verse or whatever is just looping and looping and looping and like making me crazy, and I cannot sleep. So back in December, I went and saw my doctor and we increased my Zoloft dose a little bit, and it actually has made a huge difference. I also noticed that I got my cycles back, my period back, probably when I was around 3 months postpartum, and the PMS, it's not a cute look. It was really bad. I mean, PMS on like by itself is terrible, but PMS with like an infant, not a cute look. So having been on the increased dose of my Zoloft for almost 2 months now, it really has made it a huge difference. Like, everything doesn't feel impossible. Like, before I was just feeling like, you know, every 25-minute nap she took instead of an hour nap or whatever was like the end of the world. Everything felt like it was the end of the world. So I'm glad not to feel that way. I'm really, really glad not to feel that way. So I'm just going to put this out there. If you are struggling, don't be afraid to talk to your doctor, and don't be afraid to take medicine. People, you know, I feel like there's a lot of talk about postpartum depression and anxiety, and it's definitely a lot more visible than it used to be, but I still feel like there is a stigma with taking medication. But I just wish that people could let that go, because sometimes you need help. And, you know, with antidepressants, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be on them for forever. But even if you are, that's okay too. Like, who cares? Like, I would rather be able to enjoy my life and my daughter and my family than be miserable. Excuse me. Sorry. So, thumbs up there. You can see I cut my hair. I got a sassy little mom cut. Okay. And when I say I cut my hair, I mean I cut my hair myself. This was like, I don't know, probably in November. I, you know, was probably feeling, it was a day I was feeling some type of way. And my hair, like the postpartum hair loss was in like full gear. It was so long and damaged and broken and dead. It was just like lifeless and disgusting. I only ever wore it up in like a friggin' bun. That bun would stay in place for days at a time, and it would become like a rat nest, and then I'd have to like, it was just a fucking thing. I'm sorry, I'm cussing a lot. Lots of cussing. So I got out of the shower one day, and I looked at it and was like, no, we're done here. And I cut it all off myself. And honestly, I kind of can't believe it needs a trim now. I kind of can't believe it worked. It's a little weird here. Probably can't really tell, but hey, who knew? So it felt very freeing. It definitely felt like a Britney Spears moment. I had my Britney Spears moment. I didn't bust my head, but it felt very freeing. It was very liberating, and it was 100% what needed to happen. What else? So I have friends. Guys, I have friends here in Ocala. Okay? This is a big deal. Okay? I feel like I talked for months and months and months about needing to get friends and not really knowing how to go about it. And actually, I have some of my online gals. Hello, Bridget. Hello, Beck. They're my Australia buddies. We all had babies within days of each other. It was very fun. Anyway, I think it was Bridget that recommended, there's a mommy dating app called Peanut, and I decided to check it out, and I was able to meet a couple of women locally, and we go for weekly play dates, and they're so much fun. Their babies are within a couple months of Iris, so that's really fun to get them all together and play. It's usually like they avoid each other, and then at the very end, they all come together, and it's like there's lots of hair pulling, there's like attempted scratching. Color no one's surprised that Iris is the one that's constantly, like in the pictures, you see her like looking, like giving one of the other babies side eye and trying to scratch him like on the sly. Yeah, she's a scratcher. I'm sure she'll be a bite or two when she gets teeth, which she doesn't have any, which I feel like she's been teething for about 6 months, and maybe there's just some teeth in there. Maybe we're just destined for her to teeth for the rest of her life. But I feel so blessed to have met these women. They are wonderful. They're so funny. They keep me sane. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like, I think I got past that 6-month hump, and I feel like I'm hitting my stride. I'm coming into my own as a mother. I don't know if it's taken me a longer amount of time than anyone else, but just for those first 6 months, ma'am, I don't want to say it was not cute. I mean, she's cute. She's adorable. But it's not been easy. It's not been easy. So I would like to get back into making these videos. If anyone is still around. I feel like I abandoned all of you. Not gonna commit to anything, but I would like to maybe go into some more detail about like my experiences so far as a mom, like with my postpartum depression and anxiety and body image and all the shit that everybody obsesses over. So I hope that everyone is doing really, really well in this new year. We're having a good year so far, aside from us all being sick, but I knew we would get sick from the travel, which we did. But I hope everyone is doing so well. Thank you for hanging in there. And I'll talk to you guys soon.